This morning the road was actually pretty dry by the holiday inn over there. The more I was coming here, the more wet it was. So I'm sure that's going to be super wet in the woods going up. Very slippery on the edges with the moss. I mean, the road is not that bad. It's going to be mossy, so it's going to be different from wet, but it's more managing the bumps here that is
It was a good practice day, though, you know. Let's do it.
You know, all turbos have a red line, where essentially, you know, if you hit beyond that red line, the turbo will physically come apart.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's you know, it's balanced to within a certain RPM. You know, and a turbo that size is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of around 130,000 RPM. And so what happens is, you know, you can hit that number, you can probably go about 5% beyond it. Beyond that, you know, you're talking about, you know, something that's going to catastrophically come apart. And as you've mentioned, at altitude, the turbo has to spin physically faster to make the same boost pressure because you're overcoming the difference in atmospheric pressure. And so certainly at the top of Pikes Peak, yeah, that turbo's got to work really hard to make, you know, 2 bar, right?
Right.
And so, you know, a lot of guys will use that speed sensor to close loop on it, so you're making sure you're not damaging the turbo.
Sure.
Tell the people, like, how much work you did over the last, like, couple of days during Easter and stuff.
Like 10 hours in Eastern with my wife. We was over there with Paul midnight Monday. The next day I washed the intercooler 57 times. I was over there till 10 o'clock. And yesterday was 7. So yesterday went home early.
Than about 4 pounds of boost, and I don't know if that's because it's cold or what, but we'll do another run, see if it starts making boost. Otherwise, it could be if you have a leak or something like that.
We put a new OEM throttle body in the car. With Sidex, you don't have to do throttling and mapping, nothing.
No, if it's a safe part number, it should. No,
we don't have to adaptation.
No
adaptation.
I mean, I can do that. There's a procedure to do that in the software, but I doubt that's the reason. I'll log the throttle position just to make sure.
Yeah, I think
this big leak. Yeah, this stuff mark. Yeah, you get a hose off.
Really?
Yeah. But it just popped off, dude.
You guys nervous?
Oh, you know, no, absolutely not. We just keep going, man.
Sounds pretty good.
Sounds nice. Setting at like about 6, so it's early. Should be cut to 7. Well, I'm gonna fly, but it hit a limit at 6,000. So we're crossing 400 horsepower and 20 psi, which is fine. Like that's where I expected this size turbo. You know, it's certainly more on tap. The rep would boost to that, but now we got to figure out why it's stopping. It's
So what size turbo do you have?
stopping for flat 6 again, not a flat 5.
Should 200. We have
It's a S200 SX, 4 corner.
So fast. Like we can drop pressure like on the regulator.
On the regulator?
Yeah.
What's still 10 out?
It's everywhere rich. So like we're running like 10, 5, 11 on boost, which is just bad. Like on E85, we could be running 12, but it'd be.
Could it be like that?
I suggest we cut pressure. Let's remove some fuel pressure. I'd say probably 10 psi easily out of the fuel pressure. If you're at Pikes Peak, your atmospheric pressure is going to be 65, 70 kPa, right? So that means that that map sensor sees that. When you're at idle, you're going to be relative to that 65 kPa number, meaning the fueling will compensate for the different altitude. Right. The only thing that doesn't compensate is the turbo, because of course the turbo is trying to make a specific amount of boost pressure, which is not relative to atmosphere.
A 5 kilo.
Okay, so let's put on the different pipes. So that's what happened. It didn't cut. The boost hose blew off.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's why you didn't hear it blow off, and that's also why you didn't have any turbo shuffle, because all the boost just simply
I needed that.
left the building.
It's 521 horse and 445 torque.
Oh, 521?
Yeah. I think you could probably stretch that red line some. Like right now you're at 72, which is like a factory AAN rev limit. I'd like to see 75, 78. Because there's going to be some corners where you're going to want the opportunity to rev it out a little more, and these engines will take it. That's some good footage.
Yeah, you think? Ever heard like a real ALS in person?
If we do something like this in our shop, man, we get police right on.
Extra 50, 60 more horsepower.
Yeah, some not, it's airflow, right? So more in, more out.
Yeah. So that's a big change. Yeah, good job.
It's a good setup. It's supposed to be the very, very good setup. It's still same horsepower, you know. We go around like 500 something, and I don't think we need more right now. You know, it's a boost. It's still like on 1.5.
Yeah.
So before we get 1.7 with 475. Right now we had after the same tune we get 1.3 with 522. So let's boost more power, which is great. And right now we get 1.5 boost on 1.5. So we go from there. Let's see how perform. What we're gonna like on the sharp turns, like this. You know, we're gonna see if we can pull back the first.
Yeah, I'm probably
to come
gonna
out.
I mean, I can double clutch if needed.
Or go into with anti-lag. We're gonna test out which one gonna be work better.
Yeah.
You know, go into with anti-lag system, and that's gonna be pull you out, but less braking.
Yeah, that's the problem of the.
Or maybe the first couple laps, we just leave it on basic mode.
Yeah, I don't want to start with anti-lag to get started, so can get a good feel for the brakes, especially we don't have ABS. So condition like today where it's going to be wet.
Yeah.
Want to feel the car properly on braking and not have the anti-lag pushing me on top of that.
Yes.
Because it's going to be tricky enough already.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have also to check the force on the pedal. I have limited force in my right foot because I have a prosthetic Achilles tendon. And so if the pedal gets really hard and I push harder, my foot stretches, but I don't press harder on the pedal. So I have to make sure we have the right threshold of force before we put any additional speed to it. But
So give the brakes like couple minutes to warm up.
well, yeah, we'll drag them a bit.
You know, it's like when it's cold, it's not working too well. When it's get warm up, you're going to like it.
turbo kicks in, the power is really violent. Third gear if you get full throttle, you just spin the four wheels. It's just, otherwise it's pretty easy to drive. I took that flat out with a jack and I got air. And yeah, the car was 140 miles per hour at the end of the straight.
Yeah.
It was like crazy fast. But that's, that's why also I like the RS4. Slower car,
Yeah.
but you feel you are driving the car. It's not the electronics, it's not the pilot is driving. That's why I love this thing. It's so organic.
Very much.
Yeah, see, it doesn't get any better than this.
No, he did an amazing job. I didn't know my car can go that fast on the rail too.
Who is your wets do a great job even in that shit.
No, you did
Yeah.
a good job. Thank you. You did a good job.
You did a good job too, the car worked perfectly.
Well, the back it's still on.
We just, I don't know if you were in the straight, when we went in the straight we tried the anti-lag mode.
No, I wasn't.
We were probably not in anti-lag mode, the car dropped to 5,000 and what, but not going past 5,000. Like, okay, let's get it up, and then both of the car came back.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's impressive. It's still relatively easy to control, despite all the power and stuff. So far, amazing. Honestly, it's much. I was anticipating the car to be much harder to drive than it is. Both brakes, power, delivery, steering, everything is.
Pick up quick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to drive old cars. I mean, I was 13 when those things were around. So, but it's still I have had old cars, or even here we did endurance racing with a 79 Datsun, and some of those old cars are still tricky to drive because the chassis are not well solid. This thing is really well solid. It's really nice to drive. And Mark did a fantastic job on the tune because the power delivery is very controllable. Yes, it's violent if you just punch it, but you have ways of controlling it by just being smooth on the inputs, and that's really awesome.
I really like to come out. But we didn't have that much power to come out from the turns before.
Yeah, I was anticipating way more lag too with the big intercooler you have in the front. I mean, that's one of the things. We had a Subaru with a front mount and stuff. The time to charge all the piping and stuff, it's like, you stay on the gas, and the city goes, Here you can get it as long as I didn't drop under 3,000 in the turn. The 3,000 to 4,000 gets back very quickly, and then we're in the boost. It's very usable.
Smooth, right?
Well,
quick.
We're gonna see. I think the hairpins at Ascutney, which is Cecchet, where the ambulance is, there are two hairpins back to back. Those we're probably gonna have to do in first gear, but I'm sure the boost is gonna be there right away. And there is enough RPM that you don't have to shift all the time either. So we'll try it anyway, both in second gear and first gear to see the difference.
I love to see it.
So that we have some reference points
I
for
love to
Pikes
see
Peak.
it to come out for second gear or pull it back to first. I love to see like first, like if it struggle to come out in the second, you know?
And that's the thing too, it depends on the weather. If it's like, if Pikes Peak we have conditions like this, we take that in second gear so that you don't get out of hand in first gear when the boost comes, and you have, it's a bit slower, but anyway, you are not going to beat any records in those conditions, but it's safe. That's why when we came out the first lap, waiting for the brakes to, I usually get one gear up, like in third gear and lower RPM, let everything build up, and you don't want to be in the boost right away, lose control, don't have the brakes to get the car back. So, no, it's awesome. Beautiful. Awesome. I think we learned everything we had to learn today. It was a fantastic job. We were able to test both the RE71Rs and the Rougier-Wets. The alignment felt good. I don't think we need more towing. The car is very neutral on center. The turning is progressive. The mid corner, you see, we were able to power out, super easily control everything. So the car is very balanced. I mean, the car is also super light, which helps. When you drive a 4,000 pumping there, it's like, getting back on the gas. So, no, honestly, fantastic. I think, yeah, just bringing Mark back to Mark to figure out the tensioner.
Yeah.
Probably for safety, add the covers here to make sure that if we have a belt problem, we don't end up damaging the fans in the radiator.
Sure.
But other than that, everything is good. It's awesome.
Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Fantastic.
What a blast.
What a blast.
So why frog racing? What's the story behind that?
Well, the Brits call the French the frogs.
Yeah.
I can't hide my Frenchness, especially in the accents. When I started dating with my wife, she was a princess, and so I became the frog. That's it. That's stick when we had to find a name for the racing team that became Frog Racing.
We are running the long hill all the way to the top, so if you stop at traditional finish, you won't get a tire.
The thing to do, this weekend is if there is anything I can come loose on the car from the back window at the place to go.
That was a big bump.
It looks like it just came off the rubber hanger.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go underneath.
The whole top section is still in the fog. It's you can't see anything. Even knowing the corners, like I know there is a corner there, you can't see it. It's really bad. The wiper handle was hitting the new cluster, so I couldn't even get the wipers on.
Interesting.
And the top is in the cloud, so it's raining all the time. So you could push it to the first step, which is the just one, but that lifts the whole dashboard every time. You have to push lift the dashboard and get one wipe. That we can go. But given how bad the weather is at the top, I would say we go last on this run, so that we don't have to wait in the rain and the humid stuff at the top.
Okay.
We can just go up and come down. And
Okay.
that's it.
How was it?
That was nice. Yeah, that was fun. Pushed a bit more. The road is drying up, so getting a bit more comfortable with the car. Still bumpy, but overall the car is really doing well. The exhaust stayed in one piece this time.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
We did good. That was a nice run, very nice run.
Yeah.
We had plenty of power, right?
Yeah. So the thing I'm wondering is if we can get slightly more RPM. There's every time at the top of the gear, when I get in the next gear, I can't get back in the boost. So even if I shift at 7,000, first, second, third, every time I get into the lag of the turbo before it comes back. We could try to run it with anti-lag every time I upshift, but it's even the section that was relatively fast, when we push in second gear, got into third, the third was like, and then it took a couple of seconds before we get back in the boost and the power band. I wonder if it would give us, if the engine could take another 500 RPM, if that would put us back right in the sweet spot for the next year.
Well, we can definitely do like 200-300 for sure, but I would try out the anti-lag.
So we can try that, yeah.
Maybe the next run, just go a little bit easier and see what the anti-lag does.
We can try it.
You know, I would take a shot. But this is nice run. Good job. I really enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed
that was
it.
fun. That was fun. The fog is up, so you can see the road now. You can see the turns. And you can see the road even here is drying up. There was all damp this morning. So.
Yeah, I think the exhaust is popped out when we had the high RPM.
Yeah, if I hit
that one,
when I hit the rev limiter, it just pops on the.
Yeah, I think that's how it came out. Yeah. So what I gotta do, I gotta make some bend end of the bracket. That's not popping up. I think that's what we're gonna do.
So that's why some of the section between the hairpin, I just did in second gear, try to maintain it at the top of second gear rather than trying third and back in second. I think it's faster. Well, I'll have to look at the data, but I'm sure it's faster. But yeah, the car felt good. Even in the bumpy section, the car stayed solid. Of course, there are bumps, but for a short wheelbase, it's still pretty stable.
I'm from Randolph, New Hampshire, up north, and I actually found this car in the next town over in Gorham. And it was actually kind of stuffed at a snowbank, not running, and the young man that had it had blown the turbo out on it, and he wasn't intending to do anything with it. So it was just sitting there in a snowbank, and I guess every person in town had tried to buy it from him, but he didn't want to sell it. And then finally I talked to him about a year after I saw it the first time, and he sold it to me. And it was in pretty good shape until we put it up on the lift and found that it was pretty rotted out and stuff. So that started the project, pretty much gutting the car and bringing it down to bare metal. And then it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah.
The little projects that you always have the ideas to do kind of took a mind of its own. The cool thing about it is that most of the inspiration and stuff in this car is either from New Zealand or Australia.
Yeah.
So all of the components underneath, race fab, subframe and control arms to Kiwi CNC, billet, uprights, and oil pan. Some really cool products around this car. All Haltech, again, another Australian company.
Yep.
So basically it's a 2.8 stroked out 2.6 with a VCAM, HKS VCAM in it. We also have an OS Geiken 88 with a 6-speed sequential in it. So, and it scoots pretty good.
It sounds great
good.
too.
So yeah, it's a fun car. So small turbo, we're only running 7670, but that's all we intended to do.
Yeah.
So,
now, did you know you were going to make it into a race car, or was it something that?
No, it was always going to be a hill climb car.
Hell yeah.
And that's what it is. It's not anything else but a hill climb car.
So today we had a successful practice date for Pikes Peak. I gotta say thank you for Mike and Georgie to being over here today. Mike did all the fantastic job on the coolant system, and huge thank you for him to get everything precisely done. So thank you for Georgie over here. He's the race car mechanic. He did all the support today, and the car performed perfect. Like lambda was perfect, turbo pressure was good, and the temperature, no overheating problem at all. So we did good. We did good. What do you think, Mike? What do you think about today? Tell me.
It's definitely a good learning experience, a lot of fun. Not only is just everyone here supportive and everyone is all friendly, but the experience was just unbelievable. And you know, seeing all the hard work and all the time that we put into the car pay off is a definite rewarding feeling. And also knowing that
Your work it's in it.
yeah,
Your
the
work,
engineering
right?
that we had put into it and the thought and trying to eliminate any potential problems really ended up paying off and performed flawlessly. I mean,
He put a lot of hours in it. He put a lot of hours in it.
Rough estimate, how much do you think?
200.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
yeah.
He put 200, but we have result.
Yep.
We have results. So, Emmanuel, let me talk about a little bit our driver. He did absolutely fantastic. I think he's a special connection with the car. A little bit quick for me, but he did great. And all the time we get quicker, better. And I think he get like used it so fast.
I'm the same age as the car, so I'm even older, so we connected very quickly.
What do you think about the car?
Well, I mean, for me, it's a time capsule. It's very old school car. Everything feels like you are already driving the car. It's not the car driving you. It's like the feedback is amazing. The noise. I mean, have you heard that thing? It's like
Sure.
It doesn't get any better
Yes.
than this. And I was a little bit afraid at the beginning how tricky the car would be to drive. Big turbo, very short wheelbase. Especially the hill we are here today, Ascutney, is one of the worst hill we have in terms of road conditions. Extremely bumpy, extremely technical. It's just after the winter. We still have all the moss from the spring and stuff. Extremely slippery road. Plus it was wet this morning. We had fog. We couldn't see. So already testing has been in the worst condition, which prepares us the best. But the car, if you are smooth on the inputs and you are driving the car mechanically, it's responding absolutely amazingly. So it has been really a joy to drive this car. It's an amazing time capsule of the best that was ever made. It's really fantastic.
You did a great job, man. You did a great job.
Thank you for the car. Really appreciate it.
You did a good job, man. You did
I'm like a kid in a candy store. It's like it doesn't get any better. It's Christmas every day I'm in the car. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And look at it. She's really pretty.
Yeah. Take a look.